All right, today's episode, this is Thursday afternoon. I can't remember all Tim's requests, but we're just winging it because we got something cool to do today. I, as everybody knows, shop for my cigars on a certain website, and it's a bid auction website. And a couple weeks ago, my boss paid me a little extra money to go to his house and put tongue and groove paneling all through his living room and his hallway and everything, give it that cabin feel. So he paid me in cash, which was awesome. So I had a little bit of extra cigar money, more than the normal budget, and so I've been actively bidding. Friday nights seem to be the best. Sunday nights I usually do pretty good. I've been on a 2-month losing streak. I'm getting like maybe 10 cigars a week, and I normally can land like 20, 25 on a normal week. So Sunday evening, apparently, or Saturday evening, got into the tequila, was drinking it straight, binge watching some Netflix all by myself. Apparently at some point, the auctions got really good, and I got really ballsy, and I got sick of losing, and I maybe bid on a few too many cigars. So we're gonna do an unboxing. I placed 13 bids Saturday evening, and while I was peacefully sitting in my seat at church on Sunday morning, I decided to check my phone and see if I had won any of them. I won all of them. So this evening we have a whiskey glass from our good friends at Power Hungry Performance, Bill Cochran, his wife, amazing people, and my good buddy Cam Bagley bought me this little gem as I gifted him a Man of War cigar that's pretty hard to find yesterday evening. So we're gonna smoke this fine cigar and drink us a glass of Garrison Brothers Barrel Strength bourbon from Texas. It is hot, hotter than balls out here in Georgia right now. So I don't normally drink my bourbon with ice, but being barrel strength and being as hot as it is, I got a little ice in here today. Now this Garrison Brothers, this particular batch, you can't probably see it on video. I doubt that it's going to show up. This is completely unfiltered bourbon. You can actually see chunks of oak floating around in the bottle. It's definitely not for the faint of heart. I usually make fun of people that put ice in their bourbon or water. And while I have drank a couple fine small pours of the Garrison Brothers without ice or water, if you're looking to enjoy the experience, I recommend a little ice and water. Oh, that's a fine cigar. So this is a Gurkha Cellar Reserve. This is aged 15 years in oak. And you can taste it. Every single one of these cigars is a little bit different. Very full-bodied, very oaky. Really, really nutty and spicy on the finish. And it's cool how the cigar changes. You get about halfway into this thing, phenomenal. Really, really good draw, especially if you cut it right. I'd recommend cutting about 1/8 of an inch below the edge of the shoulder. It is a little bit of a torpedo-shaped cigar, so the further down you cut, the harder it is to draw. To each their own. Let's see what we won in this auction. While I remember bidding on these, I do not remember bidding on them 4 times, but there we are. These, I talked about these last video. These are a Rocky Patel Very, very good sun-grown cigar. Really spicy. Just a regular Maduro. We got more of the Man of War Ruinations. I got 5 more of them. Those are really hard to win. I almost always lose. Some more Rocky Patel. These are the Royal Vintage Sun-Growns. Haven't had them, so maybe we'll do a video on them later on in the week. This is hands down one of my favorite cigars and has grown to be, I got a box of 20 last year, worked my way through them. I like to let these things age in the humidor for about a month. All my cigars stay in the humidor for a month before I touch them. You don't know how long these things have been sitting in a warehouse. You don't know when they were packaged. So a lot of times I'll pull them out of the package and try to smoke one and the wrapper starts to crack and fall apart. The last thing you want to do is waste your hard-earned money on a cigar that just falls apart in your hand. So I recommend letting them sit in the humidor about 70% humidity for at least a month before you start smoking them. And it just gives them a much better spice. This is another Man of War. These are the Armadas. Never had these before, so I'm excited about trying those. All the cigars that I order are usually a 6x60. I just like that diameter and that length. Oh, we got some diesels. You cannot go wrong with these things, man. Anything that says diesel on it's gonna be good. I mean, I've worked through their entire product line. I'm not a huge fan of any of the lighter, Connecticut wrappers or anything like that. I tend to like the darker, spicier cigars, but I've had these before and they are great. So these are the Rocky Patel Vintage. These have been aged since 1990 in sherry casks. They are not a flavored cigar and they are not a dip cigar, but I'm really looking forward to the flavors in this wrapper. And we got these honkers. I had no idea they were this size. Well, Cigar Bids is usually really good about telling you the size of what you're ordering. When you're 4 or 5 glasses of straight tequila deep on a Saturday evening, things can get blurry. And we got 5 of them. So all in all, we have 55 cigars, all excellent name brand, a lot of vintage and cask aged, and these are not cheap cigars by any means. And we got 55 cigars for $236. Not a bad haul. I'm gonna enjoy this bourbon and I'm gonna enjoy this cigar while we wait for this video to upload to YouTube. Oh, by the way, I want to thank my buddy Bruce for the bourbon, Cam Bagley for the cigar, our friends at Power Hungry for the awesome glasses, and somebody was asking me in the comments of the last video if I smoked a pipe. I do. This is single-handedly the best tobacco pipe money can buy. Smoking a pipe to me is all about tongue bite. The colder the smoke, the more enjoyable the smoke. The way that these radiator bodies act, they basically act as cooling fins for the smoke. So the smoke comes into the body of the cigar, and then it has to get around through those cooling fins before it ever goes up in the stem. So very, very pleasant pipe to smoke. They're not as expensive as they used to be. When I first started buying these pipes, they were super high, and they've come down a lot. So check out Kirsten Pipes. They're based out of Washington, around the Seattle area. Excellent pipes. Everybody have a good night.